You think you are lazy. You think you lack discipline. But that is not true. Something deeper is controlling you. Your brain is not broken. It is simply following its programming. Right now, your brain is choosing comfort over effort. Not because you are weak, but because it is designed that way. And the most shocking part is this. You are not fighting yourself. You are fighting your brain's reward system. And until you understand this system, studying will always feel like a battle you cannot win. But once you see how it works, you can completely rewire it. Section number 1, the real problem, brain reward system. The real issue is not discipline. It is reward wiring. Your brain does not care about success. It does not care about your goals. It only cares about survival and reward. And survival means efficiency. Less effort. More reward. Fast results. That is why studying feels difficult. It gives delayed reward. No instant satisfaction. No emotional spike. But your phone is the opposite. Every swipe gives instant stimulation. Instant novelty. Instant dopamine hit. So your brain builds a comparison system. Study equals slow reward, high effort. Phone equals instant reward, zero effort. And your brain always picks the second option. Not because it is smart, but because it is programmed for energy saving. This is why you fail, even when you are serious. Because seriousness does not change biology. Reward strength does. Section number 2, the dopamine loop, hidden habit trap. Your life is controlled by loops, not decisions. Every distraction starts the same way. You feel boredom, or difficulty, or resistance. That is the trigger. Then you escape. You pick up your phone. You switch attention instantly. That is the action. Then comes reward. A small dopamine spike. A sense of relief. A feeling of escape. And your brain records this pattern. It says, this works. So next time the trigger appears, it pushes you toward the same action again. Trigger, action, reward, repeat. This is how habits are formed. Not by choice, but by repetition. And the more you repeat it, the stronger it becomes. Until one day, you are not choosing distractions anymore. They are choosing you. And studying becomes harder, not because it changed, but because your brain got rewired away from it. Section number 3, misunderstood dopamine, core insight. Most people think dopamine is pleasure. That is incorrect. Dopamine is not satisfaction. It is anticipation. It is the chemical of, maybe something good will happen. That is why scrolling feels addictive. Not every video is interesting, but the next one might be. So, your brain stays hooked on possibility, not reality. It keeps chasing the next reward, not enjoying the current one. Now, studying does not have this system. There is no next surprise, no sudden emotional change, no unpredictable reward. So, dopamine stays low, and your brain labels it as boring. This is important, because boredom is not lack of interest. It is lack of anticipation. Once you understand this, you realize the problem is not attention. It is expectation design. Section number 4, why motivation fails, hard truth. Motivation feels powerful, but it is fragile. It depends on emotion, and emotion is unstable. One moment you feel ready, next moment you feel tired. But your brain does not follow emotions. It follows reward strength. So, even when you are motivated, your brain still compares options. Study equals effort. Phone equals instant reward. And reward wins almost every time. That is why motivation fails repeatedly. It is not strong enough to override biology. You can feel inspired and still fail. Because inspiration does not change systems, habits do. And your current habit system is built around distraction, not focus. That is why motivation gives temporary energy, but no permanent change. Section number 5, dopamine reset strategy, rewiring the system. You don't kill dopamine, you reprogram it. Now, you reach the real turning point. This is where most people get it wrong. They try to remove distractions completely. They try to force long study hours. They try to be strong. But that approach fails. Because you are not fighting a habit. You are fighting a reward system. So, instead of fighting it, you redesign it. The first step is small reward loops. You stop treating studying as one long painful task. You break it into short sessions. 10 to 20 minutes only. After each session, you allow a small reward. A break, a walk, a short reset. Now your brain learns something new. Effort does not mean suffering. Effort leads to relief. The second step is visible progress. Because the brain loves proof, not promises. Use checklists. Use streaks. Mark completion clearly. Every tick becomes a dopamine hit. Every completed task feels like success. The third step is reduce entry resistance. You don't say, I will study for 3 hours. You say, I will start for 2 minutes. This removes pressure completely. And pressure is what creates avoidance. Once you start, momentum takes over. And suddenly, continuing feels easier than stopping. Slowly, your brain begins to change its association. Study no longer means pain. Study starts meaning progress. And that is where rewiring begins, not through force, but through repeated reward correction. Section number 6, the 2-minute brain hack, starting problem fix. The biggest illusion about productivity is this. People think they struggle with work, but they don't. They struggle with starting. Starting creates resistance. Starting creates overthinking. Starting creates delay. So the solution is simple. You remove the pressure of starting. You tell your brain, I will only do 2 minutes, nothing more. No expectations, no commitment beyond that. This trick works because the brain hates big decisions, but it tolerates small actions, so you lower the barrier completely. Once you begin, something changes. The brain shifts from resistance mode to action mode, and in action mode, focus becomes easier. Now 2 minutes turns into 10, then 20, then more. Not because you forced it, but because momentum took over. This is the hidden truth. Discipline is not about control. It is about entry. If you control the start, the rest controls itself. Section number 7, Environment Rewiring, Hidden Control System. Your environment is silently controlling your behavior. More than motivation. More than willpower. If your phone is beside you, you are already losing the fight. Not because you are weak, but because temptation is frictionless. Your brain always chooses the easiest path. So you must redesign the path itself. Make distractions harder to access. Keep your phone away physically, not just mentally. Make study material visible and ready. Open your books before you even start. Prepare your workspace in advance. Because the easier something is, the more your brain will choose it. So, instead of relying on self-control, you shift control to environment design. You are not forcing discipline anymore. You are building a system that removes choice. And when choices reduce, consistency increases. That is how focus becomes automatic. Not emotional. Not forced. Just natural. Section number 8, Identity Shift. The deepest change is not habits. It is identity. Right now, your identity might be, I struggle to study. I get distracted easily. And that identity silently controls behavior. But transformation begins when identity changes. You stop saying I will try. You start saying I complete. This shift changes how your brain sees decisions. Because now, you are not debating anymore. You are acting in alignment with identity. And identity-based actions require less effort. They feel natural. You are not forcing focus. You are becoming a focused person. Over time, your brain accepts this new pattern. And repetition locks it in. That is when studying stops feeling like a task. It becomes your default behavior. Not because you became stronger, but because your system became aligned. And once that happens, discipline is no longer something you use. It is something you are.